Hello gorgeous people, how are you? Today I'm talking about a little conversation I had with the emissaries about when the end will come. I'll tell you all about it on the other side. So, every now and again I just say to the emissaries, come on, let me know, how close are we to this ending? How close are we? And they never answer. And they say, well, it'll take as long as it takes and all of that, yeah? So I did the same. I said to them, look, are we close to the end? How long will it take? And they said, well, it'll take as long as it takes, but rest assured that we are very, very close to the changing point, to the tipping point. And I said, so will I see the end in my lifetime? Will I see the end? And they said, no. Bummer. They said, no, you won't see the end. But then they qualified that by saying, but you will see the beginning. And so what they were saying was, we will see the beginning of the creation of things that will be created for mankind's benefit. And I said, like what? Like what? And they listed off this lovely list of prosperity, joy, peace, love, peace for mankind. But they said you won't see the end. You won't see the end because it's going to be a transition. And they said, plus, the baddies will linger. And then I put in, like a wet fart on a dry Sunday. They'll just linger on. But what will happen is we'll start seeing the creation of all of these beautiful, beautiful things happening. And I think we're already seeing that now. We're seeing the start of it. But I think we're going to see bigger things to come. They said that things are going to get into high gear. And I'm going to come on to that when I talk about the eclipse and a conversation I had with them. But they said things are going to get into high gear. But they said understand that there is no end, is only a beginning. And it's like they showed me the yin yang, where there's always darkness within the light and there's always light within the darkness. That's what's always been like. And we can't, nor do we want to have just light, because that would be boring. That would get boring. And we don't want just darkness, because that would be bloody awful. Even in the worst of times, when we dig down deep, there's always a glimmer of hope, isn't there? There's always a glimmer of, this could get better. This will get better. That's the white inside of the black. And also when we're in the white, when we're in the light and in everything and peace and kindness and goodness and all of that, there will always be an element of, but be aware. Maybe that element will be through the stories we tell. The warning stories, watch out for these kind of signs, because we'll be experts then. When you see these things, do not allow them to happen. Of course they will happen, because this is the cycle that we're in. It's not something that we can really control. And it's an interesting kind of philosophy on where we are and where we've been and where we're going to. I don't think that we are here to control things. I don't think we're here to make stuff happen. And the emissaries have said this a lot. We are here to witness these things happening. And so just because we see the sign, it doesn't mean that we're going to do anything. It'll just be the sign to say, right, here it comes again. this cycle that we're in. And it's just so we've got a heads up, but we can't do anything about it. And I'm going to talk about this in the future videos. There's nothing that we can do about it except to witness it and except to do the work on the inside. Because just because externally these things are happening, our job is to get the inside rocking and rolling, cooking on gas mark 9, whatever that is. Is there a gas mark 10? I don't know. Does gas mark 9 even exist as an expression, or have I invented it? I don't know. So the emissary said it's going to get into high gear. And we're going to come on to that as well. High gear. That's good. That means that if you have a car that has 6 gears, that would be 6th gear. And if you have I've got a one that's got 6 and one that's got 5. Causes me a bit of confusion sometimes. I'm trying to put the car into reverse when I'm doing about 80 kilometers an hour. Not a good idea because there's no 6th. But that's where we're going to be. We're going to be at maximum, and it won't take long. All we've got to do is have the balls, tener los huevos, as they say in Spanish, to wait this out and witness and observe and do all the work on the inside. That's what we've got to do. Yeah. So all the pressure's off. I'm taking the pressure off. The emissaries are taking the pressure off you. There's nothing that you need to do. There's nothing that you need to change. There's nothing that you need to control. What a relief. I tell you, so let me tell you, do the process of surrendering yourself and your life to God, and you will feel that relief. That relief of, there's nothing that I need to do because it's not my job. I'm going to surrender myself to God, and I'm going to say, you show me what I have to do in this game that we're in. It's the biggest relief ever. And I still experience it every week, twice a week. I do that as part of my thanks and everything. I surrender myself and I remind myself. And I don't surrender myself because God needs to hear that. I think hearing it once is probably enough. It reminds me of the story of the man who was told by God to go to a city and tell them that they needed to repent of their ways. And so he went there and he started saying, repent, because God will come and wipe you out, as was his wont, or whatever God that was, in the olden times. And nobody listened to him. Nobody listened to him. And he just kept saying, repent, repent, repent. And nobody was taking any notice. And one day somebody came to him and said, I've noticed that you keep doing this. You've been telling everybody to repent. Nobody's listening. He said, so why do you keep doing it? And he said, well, at the beginning, I did it because I hoped and I thought that I might be able to change these people. And the reason that I keep doing it now is so that they won't change me. And that's it. That's why I keep surrendering myself to God as a reminder to me that it's out of my hands. It's out of our hands. It's in his hands, her hands, their hands, whatever. It's not our job. We just have to witness it. It's a beautiful place to be. And it isn't easy to stay there, and sometimes you drop out, and that's why I keep repeating it. But when you're there, it's the biggest relief ever, a weight off your shoulders. I love you all, and I'll speak to you all later. Bye-bye.